So my name's Tiffany, and so I'm actually in the middle of like changing careers. I got my master's in biotechnology studies, and my concentration is in regulatory affairs. So I was a regulatory affairs specialist for about a little more than 2 years, and recently, just I was at a roadblock and wanted to change careers, and what is it? It happened so where I found a new job, and it's my title is now a global master data specialist. Yeah, so it kind of goes along the line with what I'm learning in Dev Masters right now, which is great. So it's kind of getting my foot in the door, at least getting some exposure to data analysis and data science in a way. I chose it because my boyfriend recommended it to me, and I, I mentioned it before where I came after work because you guys had one of the meetups close to my job, and I met with my boyfriend here and saw a lot of the potential of the career potential that I could have and as a data scientist, and I was you know pretty excited about it, a bit overwhelmed because there's a lot of people that day that you know have already been exposed to Python and the coding language, which was um, for me a little intimidating because like I had no prior knowledge about it or any experience with it, but I felt like, oh, this is a good challenge to tackle, and I was like excited to kind of like learn it because I like learning something new every day, and even if it's like something I've never seen before, it won't scare me. It just intimidate me at the beginning, but I'm like, no, I'll take that challenge. Uh, I I like that you have a chance to kind of work through a project on your own using a lot of the tools that build upon like in each of the classes, and just you know using a lot of your own critical thinking skills that you've learned in class, and then applying it on your own in this one project, and then presenting it, and getting comfortable with you know presenting and talking about it, and you know going through the whole process of under, understanding the business question for one. That's like critical, and um, then going into the data understanding and kind of doing the research behind, depending on like what the data was, because it's like, oh, if there's real estate, oh, there's some words that I didn't understand. So I was like, okay, I would have to understand what that is, or even what some of the data would represent. And doing a little bit of background research on that was like, oh, I learned a little bit more about this area, or even finance. Because the whole point of it is to put in a model, an algorithm that we potentially think is going to work, and then getting close to what we want, and getting the result that we want. It's pretty rewarding, and just the way that applying some of the things that I learned, and not having to always refer to my notes, and having like, oh, it's like second nature, building the tools or that I learned as a reflex. I would recommend it because I feel that you know like I came in really green, not knowing anything, um, but I felt the team and the instructors did very well in making themselves available, and actually um, answering a lot of my questions that may have probably like been, oh, redundant or whatever, but they're patient with me in my learning, and I feel like I'm more confident because like if I don't, I feel like more confident in something that I had no knowledge about, and it's, you know, I feel like it's empowering in that sense. And this is a career that I feel like has a lot of potential and a good future.